Thank you, everybody, for joining. Ben and I kind of want to take you guys on a journey a little bit about building a use case for what integration is all about, right? So integration in technology for the most part in our business is creating happy recruiters, happy candidates, and happy clients. And we want to tell you a little about how integration advances your operational agility and improves the human aspect of your business, making things simpler for everybody involved. So a little bit about the agenda. We're just going to go through the use case for recruiters, candidates, and clients, the benefits of an integration. I want to tell you a little bit about SimpliVerified, our core competencies, some added value that we provide that some others don't, value and commitment, how easy it is to get started with us, and go through a little bit of an illustration of what you can expect from the integration, a few slides just illustrating the functionality, and then a quick service video about what you can expect from us. So first, let's chat about recruiters, right? So it's been a while since I've been a recruiter, probably about 9 years now, but I remember how challenging it could be. So I wanted to kind of just do some research and get an understanding of what your folks are going through on a daily basis. So let's begin the discussion there. So integrating background screen services with CPAL drastically improves your workflow for your recruiters, right? It's been a long time since I've been a recruiter, like I said, so I did some research. I wanted to gain some insights on what their job functions are during the day. What I found is that they're constantly on the clock and wear a lot of hats during the day. So they have to be not only just recruiters, right, looking for people, they have to also be salespeople, trusted consultants, operations professionals, and marketers. So with that, an average workload of a recruiter is 54 open requisitions a day, and this is data provided by SHRM, and an average time to fill of 36 days. Now, consider all of that on a daily basis and think how many people that a recruiter needs to communicate with for each requisition to it gives you a whole new respect for what they're doing during the day. All that communication with all of those candidates, it can really be troublesome. So I wanted to take it a little bit further and focus a little bit on the process steps, right? How can we simplify for these folks? And I wanted to gain an understanding. And SHRM tells me also there's about 10 general steps that a recruiter will go through during each requisition trying to fill it. So we have you posting a job opening, obviously through your ATS system, your platform will do a lot of this work for you. But then you're collecting and reviewing applications, outreach to passive candidates, reviewing all the interested candidates, conducting phone screens, scheduling and conducting interviews, review candidate notes and hiring with the hiring managers. So you're doing all of this communication work, and hopefully the ATS is simplifying that for you. Then you have the offer letter, the rejection emails, all that communication, acceptance, and then the onboarding begins, right? The process begins anew. So I'd like to have you think about that and process all that with 54 open recs. It's a lot of work. So I think you should give your recruiting team a pat on the back. And talking about user experience is really what I'm going towards here. So I have a quote from Sean Garrity. He's the user experience lead for Home Depot. Now, what he says is the technology you use impresses no one, right? The experience you create with it is everything. So taking that a little bit further, let's push for the use case for integration, right? So background and drug screening workflow here I have for non-integrated. Let me hide this. And integrated with SimpliVerified. So what you're going to have with your non-integrated platform usage, right? You have separate logins for everybody, launching background and drug screens, possibly, and I've come across this, people are using multiple vendors just for that. Monitor notifications for updates, taking more time out of the day for the recruit staff, review results and separate platforms, additional paperwork, storage, manual activities. Worst case scenario, and we've come across this, people are printing out reports with, wasting ink. They actually have filing cabinets that they need to maintain and purge on a 3 or 7 year basis, accepting the risk of the candidate's personal information falling into the wrong hands. Now, to me, that is probably the biggest risk, right? You've got applications floating around with people's social security numbers, date of births on it, and background check history. You don't want those things falling into the wrong hands. So really what integration is doing is mitigating exposure to that And you can launch everything from one platform, giving your recruiters that peace of mind. So you're really, really in a compliant manner, putting everything into a streamlined process for them. Creating the ultimate happy recruiters, right? So your best asset, you want to make sure that all your people within your employ are happy and able to process things with a streamlined workflow and one process, one access point. Automated compliance. They don't have to worry that they're doing something incorrectly to catch you in some legal exposure. Improved speed and ease of use. I think that's very important, right? And that kind of correlates to training new people that come on board. I don't know how often you're hiring new recruiters, but the easiest way to train somebody is having one platform to do it on. And if you can do that, that will make your time that much simpler. There's no nuance in it. It's very simple. Faster start dates for your candidates, right? So your recruiters, the goal for you guys probably a lot of times is faster to bill, right? You want to get those people in their seats as fast as possible, getting them trained up and getting hours billed. We can help out with that. And you're automating all redundant tasks. So let's take it a little bit further, if you will. Come with me on the candidate journey. The candidate journey is a little bit different, but the same type of process improvements. So I wanted to focus on the plight of the candidate. So I'd be remiss if I didn't focus my attention on them. So it's been a while since I've been an active candidate as well. So I wanted to gather some data to support what it is that a candidate experiences along their journey. So being a candidate is no cakewalk, I found out. So think about all the steps that correlate to being a candidate and trying to obtain a position in a competitive marketplace like the one we have today. Wouldn't it be great to give them a warm and cozy feeling when you brought them on board and they found the right opportunity? So we have they're updating resumes, they're writing cover letters, posting and updating profiles, multiple different job boards, researching jobs, researching the companies, fielding inquiries, communicating with strangers, executing interviews with passionate responses, right? That's challenging enough. And tactfully trying to respond to prying questions about some of the shortcomings from their past. Illustrating technical and soft skills, that's also challenging. So think about some of these things that they're going through. We want to make it as simple as possible for them. And let's not forget, a lot of times they're being rejected, right? A lot of these candidates will go through multiple different positions of interviews before they find the right one that fits. So they might be a little bit discouraged. We're trying to really make it a positive experience for them when they're onboarding. So let's crunch the numbers. SHRM also tells us that 22% of staff turnover occurs within the 45 days. So I assume a firm will do anything to decrease that number, right? All of this data is really wonderful to support the case of integrating. 32% of global executives state that they have experienced a poor hiring experience. 49% of millennials want a better onboarding process. So those are the people that you're going to be onboarding most frequently. You want to be able to give them what they want. 69% more likely for new hires to remain in a company for 3 years if there's a well-structured onboarding program. And it all starts with background screening. 72% of candidates shared their negative experience with somebody online directly. So people are going to Glassdoor and they're talking about their experience. They're going to these websites. They're reading peer reviews. They're on Reddit. They're posting things. So even though it may not be coming across your desk, there's always a lurking review somewhere. 91% of workers in the first year are retained by companies with an efficient onboarding process. And I think that's the most glowing number. And this is data provided by DevSkiller and SHRM. So let me go a little bit further and just give you the feedback of happy candidates. So the experience is important in quality hiring, right? You want to be able to reduce communication and tasks for backgrounds, consents and disclosures. That's fully automated. With that, the compliance piece for the recruit staff, security and personal information with integrated background screening process is on the candidate, right? They have inclusion, transparency. They've taken ownership of the process and fulfilling all of their background screening requirements. And what that actually leads to a lot of times is increased loyalty to the firm for future opportunity or increased employment commitment. So whether it be they're contractual or contingent and their assignment's going to end at the end of the year, or they're a direct hire. You're going to expand and enhance the chances that there's going to be some recidivism with them returning to you or them just staying longer with you. So you're building that commitment with the candidate right off the bat. So I'm going to take it another step further, if you'll join me, just on what the clients are looking for, right? We say clients for staffing companies, human resources departments, hiring managers, whoever it may be that you're really pleasing with your process and your candidates. So a little bit of words of wisdom from Michael Dell, the CEO of Dell Technologies. Our business is about technology, yes, but it's also about operations and customer relationships, right? So really, this is going to take us through that thought process of the value of the integration to the end user. So I want to go over some data here. 68% of companies view integration as more flexible, adding agility to their business services. 70% of companies experience a reduction in cycle time, right? Very important when it comes to recruiting. 71% of companies see integration as an all-around positive. So let's talk about business-to-business integration defined. Business-to-business integration is automation of business processes and communication between two or more organizations. It allows them to work and trade more effectively with their customers, suppliers, and business partners by automating key business processes. Now, this is very important. When I say that 71% of companies evaluated, which the vast majority of them mention, the positive impact that modern business-to-business integration has on customer relations. It creates strategic benefits that lead to a higher percentage of both customer sat and retention. This is without a doubt the main challenge that businesses face today, ensuring that their customers are not only satisfied, but that they do not search for a better experience elsewhere. With competition at an all-time high, one needs to always be able to predict customer expectations and exceed them, especially when it comes to product features, quality of product, and service. But not far behind, and I don't want to leave this out, are the benefits such as the improvement of demand forecast, better employee time optimization, lower business risk, and more streamlined invoicing process, and more rapid time to fill. Integration is also synonymous with lowering cost, whether in logistics, communications, or procurement. Most of these benefits are based in efficiency, which immediately affects productivity in a positive fashion. Any gain in efficiency will always lead to a higher productivity output. I think you'd all agree. And at the end of the line, you have happier customers. So I want to finish it off. Happy clients and hiring teams, right? You and your clients will have our undivided attention as we provide improved process, optimize your time to fill, best-in-class business service model leading to satisfied candidates, longer employment engagements, and exceeded client expectations. Building stronger relationships, that's what you're doing with something of this nature. So I'm going to switch gears, and now that I've built the case and the foundation is set for the integration use case, I would like to tell you a little bit more about SimpliVerified and what you can expect from us, right? So from SimpliVerified, at our core, we're professional background screening association members for the last 8 years. We have dedicated account management, compliance solutions for every job category with a streamlined approach, expedited turnaround time at cost-effective price points to make hiring more efficient, and strict adherence to federal and state regulation. We will notify you of any changes that could potentially impact your business or cause delays. Furthermore, value and commitment from us. We will add some value for you too. We want to be proactive, right? So compliance and audit support for that reactive, but to be proactive, we're going to provide you some business analytics, monthly snapshots, quarterly and or annual business reviews, really whatever works for you. And we can break that down per the client as well, not just for you as a whole. If you have a book of business with us that you're using our background screening services for. Criminal record expungement guidance. So a lot of times, background screening, right? You can't hire somebody, you send them a pre-adverse action letter, 5 days later, an adverse action letter. Hopefully you're doing that. If not, let us know. We'll help you, guide you through that process for FCRA compliance. But you shut the door on the candidate, right? Even if you have built a strong relationship with the candidate, we can help you out and provide. We've built some software that's available to the candidates if you so choose, that'll tell the candidate if they're eligible to have their record expunged, if the charge is eligible or not. Then they can go through those steps to legally have it removed, or we can guide them to our legal team. But it's really the transparency and the peace of mind and that added piece of value that we want to add. And that's something that Ben and Dave came up with to really help out the candidate on their journey. And additionally, work opportunity tax credits. So often you're leaving possible tax incentives on the table when you're hiring people that have been on some sort of assistance or possibly military veterans. Those are all things that the government provides tax incentives for. So if you're not taking advantage of those, we can help you there as well. And getting started with us is so easy. It's 3 easy steps. We do like a brief discovery session, identify your challenges, identify your goals. You tell us what your screening needs are from your client requirements, and we tell you what we can do to help streamline things. We give you some advice, recommendations, and we throw a platform overview and demo together, a pricing proposal, and then we get the integration started. It's really that simple. And here's a brief overview of what you can expect from the integration. Couple screenshots, not the whole shebang, but you'll get a gist of how simple it is. Within your CPAL platform, you're going to find SimpliVerified once we make that integration possible. You'll click on background checks. You'll be in your candidate's profile, and you'll be able to initiate a SimpliVerified background check and select a package that we've already pre-populated for you per your requirements. And the background checks results will populate for you once they're completed, and you'll have one source of truth for all of your candidates' information, and they will sit within that system, and you can utilize our system if you ever needed to as just a secondary database to house your data. Now I'm going to take it a step further. So I want to just a tongue-in-cheek video about our superior service with a smile. You may have seen this before with The Office, so please bear with me while I play this. I'm hoping it looks well on your end.
Our biggest discounts on 30% recycled and ultra premium laser.
Okay. Can I use your phone? Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Let me talk to you about a few of the other things we can offer. Namely, we know the tax season's coming up, so by April 1st, we can have you fully stocked.
1.
Discount prices on ink cartridges.
3.
And also any forms that you're going to need.
7.
We can custom make them.
I appreciate what you guys are saying, but it makes more fiscal sense to go with one of the big guys.
Sure. That's true. We can't compete with their prices. But let me ask you something. How important to you is customer service?
Very.
Please keep holding. Your call is very important to us.
It's one of the big guys. Been on hold this whole time.
And this is Thunder Mifflin.
Good to meet some customer service. This is Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, it's Jim.
Oh my God, Jim, how are you? How are you?
Here's my card. It's got my cell number, my pager number, my home number, and my other pager number. I never take vacations, I never get sick, and I don't celebrate any major holidays.
All right. I get it. We got a deal.
All right.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed that. But that's just a little bit of piece about what you can expect from us. So from our service standpoint, there's no phone trees when you call our service team. Well, you'll have a dedicated support person, but if for whatever reason that person isn't responding or whatnot, and you have to call our support line, your support line is no phone trees, no waiting time. You're going to get somebody live. They're going to fulfill your requirements and your concerns, and you're going to be about your day 60 seconds later. Anytime you need to add a product, service, package, you want to inquire about a process overview or something of that nature or audit, we can put that together and set up a time to schedule a call with you. We don't have any long, lengthy contractual obligations, and we can have you set up literally within an hour with an account with us. So we're more than happy to speak with you, and we look forward to it as well going into the future with CPAL. They're a wonderful partner, and you've already made a great decision with them. So I would love to see what our future can be like integrated. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you again, Randy, for that great presentation. huge fan of The Office. So love the little video ad in there as well. If you want, you could just keep it on that previous screen of your presentation, and then I'll kind of share any questions that come in. I do have one quick question to kickstart it for both you, Randy, and Ben. One question, but looking for two answers, I guess. So it's very clear that SimpliVerified has a lot of different benefits that you guys offer. If you had to say, it's a very hard question, right? If you had to say, what would you say in your eyes is probably one of the largest opportunities or the biggest benefit that you can offer your clients?
Ben, are you available? I'll let you chime in if you'd like to. Otherwise, I'll chime in.
Yep, Ben, you just have to unmute yourself on the bottom of the.
There we go. All right, can you hear me all right? Okay, cool. So I would say, well, first off, Randy, you touched on a lot of the best points I feel like that we offer. But in the staffing world in particular, I think we understand the importance of turnaround time and the importance of having a good customer service experience. And although that was a very tongue-in-cheek video that Randy played, I think it really does reflect very well how he handles his accounts and his account management style, where he'll call me sometimes on Sundays and Saturday mornings and Sunday nights and different times, inquiring about things and saying, hey, this customer asked this or this customer asked this. And so I think from a customer service standpoint, you won't see anything like it. And then going along that as well is we just try to make sure that the most important things typically with the staffing industry is your turnaround time of your reports, the customer service, and what you pay for them. It's very rare for us to be able to go in there and not win on those three metrics. We really never do it. And so if you'd like to see an improvement with your price, if you'd like to pay less for the exact same background checks, if you'd like to have a little bit better customer service experience, then we can for sure help you out, So Randy did a great job touching on all those things and explaining it. But the nice thing too with the systems is it's one of those things where you can try it and see if it's what he says it is, and if it is, awesome. And if it's not, then no worries. But we just invite people to try it out and see for themselves,
Yeah, nothing to lose. Might as well try it out and see how it goes. Great.
Yeah.
I have one more quick question for both of you guys. It's regarding COVID. COVID's at the top of everyone's minds. I'm curious to see how your thoughts are on how COVID impacted the industry and even possibly some of your clients, and what your guys' game plan has been as it kind of hit us the last few months and moving forward.
Yeah, so I can. Well, I feel like we it's like, how much time do we have here? Well, I feel like both of our industries are very similar and have probably been affected very similarly to it, right? As hiring has kind of came to a halt and as hiring stopped, obviously as a background check company and as staffing companies, our businesses thrive off of other businesses hiring, right? And so as those things kind of came to a halt, we were affected dramatically by it. And so as we've kind of weathered the storm and as we've progressed and as things are starting to pick back up again, we're starting to see, I feel like our industries also have a pretty good beat on what's going on with the economy in general, just because as we can see firsthand as things are starting to pick up and as things are starting to get back somewhat to normalcy, right? I will say, although we had grandiose expectations for 2020, we're still seeing some significant growth over year, which has been really awesome for us. Not what we were expecting, but it's still been really awesome for us.
Yeah,
having growth from year over year. But overall, go on.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, but overall, we're in a really good position moving forward, and we're really excited about what the future brings. And we feel like we're very optimistic about it as well. When we look at the growth that we've been seeing just in the last few months, we're really excited and very optimistic as far as what the future holds for us.
And if I could piggyback off of that question a little bit, Jacob. I think for the most part, for coming from the human resources perspective, right? People are looking for process improvements during downtimes, right? That, they might not be as busy as they would like to be. But what I've found is conversations regarding workflow, process improvements. I've had more of those conversations than, hey, beat this price. I mean, of course, we want to give somebody a cost reduction and be able to deliver ROI right away, right? As soon as you get started, you can expect this savings, right? But for the most part, what I'm seeing is people like, listen, I've got time to focus on this. So, I haven't been so busy. Let's focus on this. This is broken. Can you fix it? So I think that's something that we can help with as well in the short-term things, but those long-term pieces as well. We want to be able to add efficiency everywhere that we can.
Great. Thank you both. And just a quick note for the audience as well. If you do have any questions following this presentation, or even if you're watching the replay, please feel free to directly reach out to Randy. His email address is on the screen, randy@simpliverified.com. And I'm sure Randy and his team will be able to happily answer your questions and kind of move forward with any other comments or concerns you guys have. But other than that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this session. Ben and Randy, thank you again for your great presentation. It's great to see some humor sprinkled in there too with the office video at the end. But other than that, thank you again both for attending. We really appreciate it. And everyone else, feel free to refill your cups of coffee because right at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, about 15 minutes from now, we will be beginning our next sessions. So thank you again, and I hope to see you all soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks,
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.